It's time for the Todd Wilkerson Show. Learn all about Heritage Hills football. This week's show is sponsored by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. Go Patriots!
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
And welcome to the Todd Wilkerson Show. Todd, great day for football, right?
Exactly. It's always a great day to play football.
Yeah. And, you had a younger team last year, and why don't we highlight what's coming back for the Heritage Hills Patriots?
Well, we had quite a few young guys playing last year. So, we have several guys who were sophomores last year that come in this year as juniors with experience. Shane and Skylar Staples, two twin brothers who played quite a bit last year at both running back and on the defensive side. Skylar's one of our linebackers, and Shane's one of our safeties. So those two guys come back, with a lot of experience from last year, and we're looking for big things from them this year. Brendan Chu is another running back and safety back from last year. So he played quite a bit as a sophomore, and he's done a real nice job for us so far this year. We've got a few senior class isn't real big this year, but we've got a few guys back that are definitely going to be get big minutes for us. Ross Temple was an honorable mention All-PAC lineman last year, so he'll come back and kind of anchor our offensive line and also play defensive line. Evan Bowling played linebacker for us last year, but we ended up moving him to the defensive line. He's kind of a big kid, about 240, moves well, so we moved him down to the defensive line, and he really kind of shored up our defensive line last year. So we're looking for he and Ross to kind of hold down our defensive line together, and then Evan is also one of our fullbacks. So, we've got really probably more lettermen coming back than we've had in several years because we had to play some of the young kids last year.
Well, it sounds very encouraging for the Patriots.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anytime you get kids back with experience, it's just hard to the learning curve is steep. So when a kid makes a jump from JV football to varsity football, the speed of the game is just one factor that's hard to simulate all the time in practice. So they really need to see that game experience to realize what we're telling them as coaches and how fast they have to process and react to what's going on Friday night.
And I've played against Heritage Hills. I've had kids that have played against Heritage Hills. I've coached against Heritage Hills. And one thing I can tell you is when you got Heritage Hills that week, it's going to be a game.
Yeah, we had a tough year last year, but I think even though we didn't have a great win-loss record last year, we competed in most games, and we try to get the kids to make sure they always give great effort. I mean, that's kind of what we expect. All the work that they put in all year round. I mean, kids nowadays who play football have to be in the weight room all year round. They have to be working on their speed, their agility in the off season, their skills. So, they put in all that work to be guaranteed 10 games. So, we say, and you got to give your best effort every Friday night, for yourself and for your community. And then, usually when they do that, good things happen.
And we'll be back on the Todd Wilkerson Show right after this to go over the Jasper scrimmage. You're listening to the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
And we're back on the Todd Wilkerson Show. Todd, last week was the scrimmage. You went to Jasper. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, overall, I was pleased. Anytime you go up and play Jasper, it's going to be a physical game. They always, are disciplined, and they play a physical brand of football. So, the main takeaway is I feel like, we competed with Jasper. I felt like we were able to run the ball fairly well. I think our approach when we go into scrimmages is we're not trying to show a whole lot. You want to go in and see your kids compete, but the first game of the year you have an advantage that the other team doesn't have film on you. So you don't want to go out and show maybe some wrinkles you put in the off season. So I think we went in at it as pretty vanilla from the offensive and defensive side, and and I'm pleased when we can go out in our base offense and move the ball, against a physical team like Jasper. So I thought we ran the ball well. I was disappointed we turned the ball over a few times, which we can't do in a real game. In a scrimmage, when you fumble the ball or you throw an interception, you get the ball right back, and that you have to make the kids aware that that's a big deal on Friday night. We fumbled one of our early running plays, and then we had interception where the ball got tipped and defensive lineman intercepted the ball. So we've got definitely can't have turnovers. Got to get that cleaned up. Defensively, I was pleased. I thought we ran to the ball well. I thought we tackled well. Overall pleased. There's always a lot of room for improvement early in the year. So we definitely take a hard look at the film, and some of our younger kids had an eye-opening experience on Saturday morning when we watched the film with them, and they understand that we can see every move they make on film, and we want them to, realize that they may get away with it on Friday night doing the wrong thing and nobody's seeing it, but on Saturday morning we're going to see it and definitely correct it. So, overall very pleased. No injuries. That's always a big concern. You go into the scrimmage, you definitely don't want to have any injuries. So came out healthy. Felt good about what we did, but still lots of room for improvement.
And I'll tell you, the cool thing was this past summer I had my house painted by Coach Jared Land, Jasper's freshman coach, and I didn't know this until I talked to him that you guys also had a freshman scrimmage, and that was cool.
Yeah, we did. We have a really nice freshman class this year. We have over 20 kids, so it was great to get them up there and, get them a set of plays. Freshman teams are harder and harder to put together nowadays. Only the big schools have freshman teams, or the schools with very strong football programs. So, our freshman schedule, has Jasper, Owensboro Apollo, Evansville Memorial, who else we got? Boonville, Mater Dei. I think we might have Southridge on there still. So it's just a loaded freshman schedule, and it's a grind. So getting those guys out there and getting some game experience. Floyd Central, we open up with Floyd Central next week, so on the freshman schedule. So, getting them some experience, getting the jitters out, and again getting the kinks out too. We film those guys, and they got to see. Get to sit down with their coaches and go over the film and try to get things corrected before they go in their first game.
And we'll be back to preview the Mount Vernon game on the Todd Wilkerson Show right after this message from our sponsors.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Tell you what, we're back on the Todd Wilkerson Show, and we're going to highlight the Mount Vernon game, which will be Friday night away. Todd, tell us a little about that.
Well, very impressed with Mount Vernon after seeing them on film. We knew they had a majority of their skill players back from last year. Last year, we lost a tough one at home against them. We turned the ball over a couple times late in special teams. We were actually ahead 14-7 with about 5 minutes left, and they were punting to us, and we fumbled the punt, gave up a quick score, and then fumbled the ensuing kickoff. So crazy turn of events there to lose that last game, but many of their skill players last year were juniors. Got a lot of their guys back. Their best running back is going to be a senior. Their quarterback, they ended up having a freshman at the end of the year quarterback and do a nice job. So he's a sophomore this year. And then they've got a couple other nice receivers. So offensively, they look pretty dynamic. They've got some big linemen. They outweigh us, and most teams usually do. But they've got a pretty nice offensive line as far as size. So we're definitely going to have to play well defensively. I feel good about our overall team speed on defense this year, and it's going to be put to the test right away. It almost look like, we're going to have to approach them like a Gibson Southern defensive task this week, because they'll spread you out, and looks like they run the ball really well, and then they have the option to, since they've got you spread out, to throw the ball as well. So, don't have them on film this year other than a scrimmage, so don't really know too much about them, but they look athletic offensively. And then a lot of, in 3A, a lot of kids that play one side of the ball, your better athletes play the other side of the ball. So a lot of those kids I mentioned are skill players for them on the defensive side. And, again, they look like they run well, they look aggressive. Definitely going to have to be ready to go and execute well. I think early in the year, it's really about not turning the ball over and not making big mistakes like we did last year. Last year was kind of an ugly game, 14-7, but if you tell me we're up 14-7 with our running offense and you're punting to us with 5 minutes left, I'm feeling pretty good. And we just totally gave that game away last year. So it's really about turnovers, limiting turnovers, not making big mistakes. Everybody's trying to work the kinks out and figure out, who can really play on Friday nights. So, I think that's the key this year. Stick to the basics. Don't turn the ball over. Play great defense and special teams, and hopefully we'll come out with a win.
Well, Coach, good luck against Mount Vernon this week.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing this show. This is great for football in Southern Indiana.
Thank you, and you've been listening to the Todd Wilkerson Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer. Join us next week. It's time for the Todd Wilkerson Show. Learn all about Heritage Hills football. This week's show is sponsored by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. Go Patriots!